Alright, video number 4 for the website. Pretty soon I think I'm going to start forgetting numbers, but basically I had a fella come in, drop me off a couple of machines. I've already got one of them fixed, one of those videos. That will be one that's posted for one machine. This is the second machine. The machine wasn't powering on. Well, it did one time, and then after that it started having severe failures, oddball issues, and everything else. So, went to opening it up, testing all the parts, and of course, wouldn't you know, the power supply failed. Which, of course, the power supply, not taken apart, for a desktop looks about like that, just a big old square brick. Power cord goes in the back. Okay, well, I went to opening his up, and after I tested it with a good power supply, everything worked just fine. So I opened his up, and this is what the end result ended up showing me. So I'm going to show you, this is with all the guts taken out and everything else, and all the screws, basically it taken apart. But these are called caps, and they're religious for going bad. They have actually an hour rating on them, and once they go past the hour rating, they like to swell up and pop, as they call them. Let's see if I can get you a good show here of one of them that's actually swelled up. So it'd be this one, and well, doesn't show up in the video real well. But the tops of them are supposed to be flat, and they actually have a liquid inside them, or a chemical, should I say. But that top right there is actually swelled up, and there's a bunch of other ones in here that are actually swelled up. So those are going to have to actually be replaced. There's this one. There's another one right there on the side that's swelled. There's also another one back in here that's swelled. I saw another one in there. I'll probably find them all here in a minute once I take them out. But we're actually going to go through the process of getting those out right now. Then I'm going to go down to the nearest store that sells them and buy a couple of them. So on that note, I'm going to heat my soldering iron up. Usually, you could just replace the power supply. It's pretty darn cheap to replace the power supply, but I think I can actually get these caps for this one a lot cheaper and get a better brand that will last a lot longer and won't have any issues with it. So we're going to go ahead and give it a shot, and then after that I will be testing the power supply and making sure that all the volts are reading exactly what they should be before I put it into the machine. We'll see if that fixes it. Probably have about a 60 to 70% success rate on what I'm about to do on this. If it doesn't succeed, well then I've wasted $5 in caps, but naturally you know how that goes. The customer has to absorb that price, and then it will be put towards another power supply, which will probably be about roughly about $40 to $60. So he'd be looking at $65 max, $45 minimum. Well, if this succeeds, he'll be looking at $10 minimum. But this is also a friend deal as well, so there's a discount in there. But I would usually probably charge about $30 to do this. So, see how it goes. No, can't speak. Okay, I now officially have the backs all marked, so that make it easier for me to find out which ones I'm pulling. And of course I will mark the numbers on them for which one goes back to where, because they are going to be different volts. Something good and warm. I'm recording right now. You can come in. Just try to be quiet. See, I've got one out. Okay. All right. Now we have what looks to be all the bad ones out. All right, have my little cheat sheet, and I need to go get those. So we will continue this video when I get them, and we'll see how we do. All right, so we're still fixing this power supply. I went and got the capacitors I needed. Ended up getting these at when the Radio Shack. They didn't have the ones I need, so I got these at Fry's. A tad bit larger than I like, but still serve the exact same purpose. Now we're going to go about putting them in. See how that goes. All right. That's a 22 and that's a 33. Damn it, that's the big one. How long is that little party gonna be? When you're going to? All night kind of ordeal?
Pretty much. Until 2 in the morning.
Nice. Cheap beer?
I don't know. I've never actually been. It's that place called the Cherry Malt.
I never heard of it.
Where they, there's a place on 7 North Arlington that goes down and it's open in that spot.
It's late. Of course, the bar's open later than that.
The $4 bells, $5 premiums, and $4 fireball shots.
That's not too bad. What's in the fireball shots?
Fireball.
An actual fireball?
No, that's what they call the liquor, whatever it is.
Oh, okay.
The one, I think fireball's whiskey.
You gonna be making that drive out to Houston soon?
Oh, it's on her.
Yes, more.
Oh, has she said no?
Huh?
Well, has she said no?
Not much. Just send me a few texts every now and say what's going on a little bit.
Alicia just got nosy and asked if she added you on Facebook yet. She's like, well, yeah, we're texting. And then she said that you offered to come down and see her in Houston.
A lot bigger cap than anticipated. Alright, there's one for now. Get it over go for now. Should be good enough. Alright. All right. 2 down. Alright, I'm gonna get back to you guys, show you exactly what I've done there. I have basically put 2 caps in there. This one and this one. Now I've got to cut the ends off here in a bit. Now I got to put the third one in. Which is going to be quite a tight fit. Almost said tight and white. Yeah, fail. Let's see.
Pair of bar slips.
No. Break them off in a minute. I'm just trying to pull it through right now. There she goes. A little bit thicker than the original one. Close that off. have to do. All right. Yeah, see, I got these. Actually made for the occasion. What time is it?
9:08.
Early.
So now let's use a pair of Warner dice.
Yeah, these are made for that though. Work perfectly. How did you spend that last chai party you went to? Expensive?
Not too much.
Emily's going out there? How'd that come about? She's already showing up there or something?
Apparently she knows the guy that owns the place.
Really?
That's what she was telling me.
Nifty.
That's what she's going. And she's trying to, like, hey, you really need to go. So I pull out my phone, it's like, I'm already going.
Oh, where'd you meet her at?
Like, Emily,
Yeah.
this was last weekend when she was here.
Oh, that's right. I remember now. You ain't got her on Facebook?
Emily?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
You know, I'd try and go with you, but the whole ordeal with Mackie stuff going on. Letty's gonna come get the kids. She wants to borrow them for a little while.
Maggie's having a party that they're going to.
So me and Paige are gonna go ahead and go to that.
Maggie's brother. No, Maggie.
All right, there she be.
Maggie's brother.
All cleaned up,
Or is it Maggie?
and the caps are in. A little bit higher than I like on one of them.
Say it's Maggie.
The other one should be just fine. Now we'll go ahead and I have to go get my power supply tester. And I will make a third video to piece this one all three together and test it out and see if it works. Alright, look forward to seeing y'all soon. Bye. Okay, it's the third video for the power supply that I was repairing. Got the caps in it and everything else. Y'all saw that on the video before. It's just going to be the retake because it said that I would get my power supply tester and test it. So here it is. Antec, made for specifically testing just power supplies. I love this thing. $40 is what I ended up paying for it. You can get them for $20, but they're not as good quality. This one right here, damn good quality. Excuse my language, but there it is. So we're going to go ahead and test this power supply out, let y'all see how to do that and everything else and how it works. So here we go. So basically we have the power supply that we replaced the caps in. I've got her all put together. And what you do is you have 20 pins right there, and then you have the 4 pin right there. You have actually 2 4 pins, but in this case, one of them will tie in with this assembly here, which equals the 24 pin, which is the new today's standard versus the old 24 pin by itself was the old standard. So then on the back of this power supply tester, there we go, you have that, and then you probably can't see that, but it says 20 pin, 24 pin, so you can test both types. We're going to go ahead and do that. Get her all plugged in. Now we're going to take the 4 pin, which is basically CPU power. This is all motherboard power. The last 4 pins here is for graphics cards. So if you didn't have a high-end graphics card, you could actually get away with just using 20 pins on a today model motherboard that usually says it requires a 24 pin. But here goes this one. We'll plug this in the 4 pin spot. Let me see if I can get this situated where I can get you guys a good reading on it. So here this all is. Now we're going to hook the power to the power supply. And if all goes well, I'll be blown halfway. If all goes well, this will read off just right, and I'll show you what that does here in a second. But if all goes bad, I'll be blown halfway across the room. Let's see. And bam, we're good. Now, let's see if I can let y'all see this. Basically, we stand up so I can read them off to you. Right here, this is the 5-volt test, and it reads 5.0 volts, which is accurate. Anything within roughly about, give or take, 0.5 is about half, so it's usually pretty darn good. This one right here is a 12 volt, and it tested, and it's reading 12.5, and it is a 12 volt, so we're within range, and that's more than perfect. It's actually quite steady at half, so that's actually good. That's a 3.3 volt, and it's reading exactly 3.3. This right here is a 12 volt. It's reading 12 volt exact. Then we've got another 12 volt here, and that's reading 12.5. Then we've got a 5 volt right there, and it's reading 5.1. Now, PG, I haven't done a lot of research in it. I probably should, because 9 times out of 10 when a power supply dies, the PG goes out on them. I'm not sure what that exactly is, but I tell you right now, it has a high failure rate. This one is actually sitting solid on 350, 360. And that is actually extremely good. And it's holding it. It's not fluctuating. It's not upping and downing. This power supply actually, above all standards and the ones I've done in the past, after replacing this with these caps and everything else, this power supply is literally above and beyond on how it's running. These volts are perfect. Actually better than most standards. So on that note, we're good. I'm going to go ahead and take this out, and we're going to hook it into the motherboard and see if it powers on. So this power supply test perfectly fine. I guess Alicia, she might be here. You didn't leave that back door open, did you? That was a question? I didn't hear anything.
She said 1.
1 what? Okay, this is the motherboard out of the machine that I'm actually doing the repairs on. Came out of an Acer system. So now we're going to go ahead and plug the 24 pin in. So she's in there. And then the 4 pin. Let's see if I can get this. Now you guys aren't going to see what I'm going to see here in a second, which would be the Windows screen popping up. Matter of fact, I need to get their hard drive. So we are all set here. We have a hard drive, we have the motherboard, we have the RAM, we have the CPU, we have the CPU heatsink, and we have the power supply all completely tied in. So what you're basically going to be watching is this fan in here, and if it's spinning, that'll mean that it's on. You may see some LED lights as well. I will also confirm that it's running and everything else, but as far as visuals, you're not going to see much because I'm using the same monitor to record on that I'm actually going to be doing the post test on. So yeah, not very useful on that. I'll work that out later on when I get other monitors and stuff. And I need a special type of recording device. Now we're going to hook up video. And here we go. Y'all watch that fan and look for LEDs. If I see an LED, I'll try to tilt it to where y'all can see it. And here we go. Oh, probably help if I actually put power in the power supply. Durr. Okay, and off the bat, I'm not seeing any LEDs. May not have any on this board. Oh, there she goes. As you can see, that fan down there is spinning. I'm not going to touch it. The fan on the power supply is spinning as well. And the hard drive is spinning as well. Most people don't realize there's that much motion in one of these machines. But I'm going to go ahead and switch videos here. And you guys won't see it, but I have to test and make sure that it's displaying anything. And there she is. Windows 7 starting up. There is the mouse cursor with the little thinking ring. Once again, this is a machine that would not power on or do much of anything. You might be able to get it to come on once, but then it would instantly die right out. So this is firing up just fine. There's no odd distortions on the screen where the power is flickering in and out. Everything seems to be running quite clean. Alright, that's it. I worked on this machine a while back, and it actually had a hard drive failure and ended up getting that fixed out, and then I ended up moving out of town and it ended up dying out 3 days later, and of course the caps in the power supply swelled up and they popped. So these people were actually holding on to this machine for quite a while, waiting for me to get a hold of them whenever I came back into town so I could fix it for them. But there it is. It's all fixed up. This fella's paying $30 to have that power supply rebuilt. Now, I went and checked it with Verizon CompUSA, and a power supply for this thing was running roughly $50 to $60 for the volts that they would require for this. That's pretty pricey. They have a $100 bill, a little bit over a $100 bill just for a power supply. That's one piece of this entire machine. That's a pretty hefty price. But pretty good power supply. We got it fixed up. We've got better caps in there now. It will last a lot longer. And all in all, total price is about $10 a cap. $30. It's good to go. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this thing back together. I've already called and talked to him. He'll be on his way to get it soon. Hopefully, I don't know why, but I've been trying to get everybody to post reviews on my website because I want to get that up and running. I want people to see what the reviews are, but nobody's done it yet. So I'm going to call and text them or something, say, hey, come on, guys, help me out. We'll see. All right, guys, that's the end of this video. Y'all have fun.